So, like I said, we're going to be studying Venn diagrams today. We're going to identify the vocabulary associated with Venn diagrams, and we are going to shade the appropriate regions in Venn diagrams, and this will be useful in our upcoming lessons on probability. So in the Venn diagram, we have a universal set that represents all the possibilities, and that would be everything in the rectangle. Within the universal set are the two events A and B. So in this case, they're saying the universal set would be all students in ProbStat class. Subset A would be students who like Chick-fil-A. Subset B would be students who like Taco Bell. And then if you don't like either, you would be out here. Now, this is a shading problem, but just out of interest, let's see where everybody lands, okay? So your choices are, you like Chick-fil-A, you like Taco Bell, you like both, or you like neither, okay? I need you to raise your hand for just one of those options. You like Chick-fil-A, you like Taco Bell, you like both, or you like neither. So if you like both, raise your hand. How many do we have in there? Raise them high until I count you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people like both. So I'm going to put an 8 up here. Okay. If you like just Chick-fil-A, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what did we say is Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A is going to be A. So we have 8 in A. And if you like just Taco Bell, raise your hand. Anybody like just Taco Bell? Okay. So that was a 0. And if you like neither, raise your hand. Anybody like neither? So everybody liked everybody likes Chick-fil-A? Yeah? And half of you like Taco Bell as well. Is that right? It makes this a little bit uninteresting as a Venn diagram, but you have to show the accurate results. So today, when we're going to be doing shading, but when we do probability, these numbers will be interesting to us. Okay? All right. So in this example, we're just shading the region for ProbStat students who like Taco Bell. And since Taco Bell is subset B, it's pretty straightforward. I apologize, but we have to start with the basics. Okay? Students who like Taco Bell are right here. And students who like Taco Bell are represented just with the letter B. The subset B is students who like Taco Bell. All right, complements are opposites. Have you ever heard that before? Complements are opposites? It's a little bit different, like you had a complement of an angle in geometry, and that was just the angle that helped it add up to 90. But this is different. This is the complement of an event, and it's the opposite of an event. So the complement is denoted as A prime, and that A prime would be students who what? Has to do with Chick-fil-A, right? Is it students who like Chick-fil-A? No. Students who don't like Chick-fil-A. So let's write that. Students who don't like Chick-fil-A. How can I abbreviate? Can I do CFA? Does that work? Okay, Chick-fil-A. All right, so we need to shade everything that's not in A. So that would be this part of B. And what else would it be? The rectangle, yeah. Okay, and oh yeah, where it says what does this region mean in this case, it means this. Chicken. Students who don't like Chick-fil-A. All right, so that part was pretty straightforward, but we're going to turn the page because we need to talk about unions and intersections. Raise your hand if you think you may have heard about this in geometry class eons ago. Anybody hear about unions and intersections in geometry class? No? Okay, that's good because it means I'm teaching you something new. Did you learn about it somewhere else? No? Okay, good. All right, anybody want a minute before I turn the page? Okay. All right, the union of A and B is defined as everything that is A or B or both. Okay? So A or B or both, and it's denoted AUB. So we're going to shade AUB. Bless you. So it's in A, or it's in B, or it's in both. Okay, and I want you to take a second and write down what that means in the context of our scenario, where A is the students who like Chick-fil-A, B is the students who like Taco Bell. So you're going to write the words for it right here. All right, does anybody want to raise their hand and tell us what this means? What we shaded here? So many volunteers. Who will I choose? How about Sarika? Can you tell us what this means? Students who like, okay, so what was A again? Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell or both. Yes.
So yeah, so we're looking at students who prefer Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, both.
Or both.
Or both.
Right, yeah. So let's write that down. Students who like Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell or both. Okay, so a union is different from an intersection. So think of a street intersection. The street intersection is where the two streets cross, and it's only that part in the middle. It's the same thing with the intersection of A and B. Intersection of A and B is anything that is in both A and B, but it has to be in both. So what part would we shade here? Left, middle, right? Middle, good. So the middle is the part that's in A and in B. So that would mean the students who like what? Yes, both. Okay, so we're going to pause for a minute. We're going to try to figure some of these out on your own now. So it says summarize the diagram using symbols and describe what each venn means in context. So maybe I'll do one with you, and then I'll let you guys do one, or I'll let you do the other three there. Which one looks hardest to you? Which one do you want me to do? The 3 one? Or the third one? This one down here?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes events are easier to describe with a not. I mean, I could say students who like only Chick-fil-A, who like only Taco Bell, or who like neither. But it would be easier to say not the students who do not like what? Both, right? Okay? So the other way would have also been right, but the quickest way to write this is to say students who do not like both. Okay, and then let's start by saying, what are the symbols for both? Would I use a union or an intersection for both? The union, remember, describes the whole thing. I just want the middle part, so that's going to be the intersection. So I have the intersection of A and B, but I want to say not that, so I put a not outside, like that. Okay, so intersection of A and B is the middle part, and then when I say not that, it means everything else. So I'm going to give you a minute. I want you to try to describe the shaded parts in words first, and then in symbols, and compare with your neighbors. They're not the easiest things, but I think you can figure them out. So let me pause my video and you guys can work. Alright guys, we're going to number them to make it easier to talk about them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, is it frozen? Okay. Thank you. Alright, raise your hand if you would like to tell us either the words or the symbols for number 1. I'm looking for some volunteers from number 1. Okay, Matthew, which one do you want to tell us? Words or symbols?
Symbol.
Okay, go for it.
A-U-B.
Alright, who agrees with A, U, B for number 1? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of agreement. That's good. Alright, so that would mean the students who like what?
Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, or both.
Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, or both. Very good.
Do you have to put the parentheses?
You don't need the parentheses this time because we don't have a not on it. Okay?
Oh, do you only need the empty one?
Yeah. But if you put them there, it's just like extra. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
So students who like Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell or both. Okay. Alright, let's do 2 last because I think that was the hardest one. Let's go to 4. Raise your hand for 4 if you want to tell me the symbols or the words. Afton, which one do you want to tell me?
Oh, well, I didn't get those. I just like have like the sentence.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So students who like Taco Bell or neither.
Students who like Taco Bell or neither. So that's one way to say it. I like it. Students who like Taco Bell or neither. Who had a different way to say it? Tanti? Students who did not like Chick-fil-A. Is that what you said, Aiden?
No, I said students who did not only like.
Okay. So I wrote students.
Oh, sorry, we're on the bottom.
Oh yeah, we went down to 4. Sorry. So okay, Tante said students who do not like Chick-fil-A. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. They're both right though, right? Okay. So these are both right. So if you said it, let's do this one first because I think more people did the second one. If you write students who do not like Chick-fil-A, how would I write that in symbols? A prime. So A prime. And then here, students who like Taco Bell or Taco Bell's over here, right? Who like Taco Bell or neither. I think we have to say and not both too, right? Because we have to get this part out. Or we could say just Taco Bell. Students who like just Taco Bell or neither. So how do we say just Taco Bell? Afton, did you have symbols for number 4?
No, not with number 4.
Okay. So I think it's possible to write this out, but it'll be more complicated. So let's stick with this one for now since A prime is pretty simple. Okay? Even though this one is possible, I think A prime is more simple.
Wait, so what would be the symbol
For this one?
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to do that?
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of long. Okay, just Taco Bell would be Taco Bell, but not both, right? So it'd be the intersection of B and not both. So that means Taco Bell and not both restaurants. Then we have to do an or neither. So how do we say neither? So here's an or. Let me put parentheses around this. Or neither. So we need to say the union of A and B, not. So, do you guys agree that A prime would be a simpler way to say it? Yeah, okay. But it is possible. You can put symbols on any statement here. It's funny, though, that something as simple as students who like just Taco Bell or neither is so complicated to write. All right. Let's look at 2. 2, we have 2 groups that we can put together. We have the circle here, which would be students who like what? Students who like Taco Bell. Or, what's this out here? Students who like neither. Now, we did say that students who like neither is kind of complicated to write. So, couldn't we also say students who don't like Chick-fil-A? Because look, Chick-fil-A is out here. This is Chick-fil-A. There's some overlap, but it still includes only the right groups, right? So this is students who don't like Chick-fil-A. And then let's find another color. Red. This is students who like Taco Bell. So between the two, we've got everything covered, right? So this might be a little bit easier than writing neither, because neither would seem to be a little complicated. So we have students who like Taco Bell, or students who don't like Chick-fil-A. Bless you. All right. On the next page, this might be slightly easier. We're going to take the scenarios and we're going to do the shading. I suggest you use a pencil because it's very possible to make a mistake. Is there one that you guys want me to do before you do the rest? Let's number them. Can I turn the page? No? Who's still working? Can I turn the page? Okay. All right, let's number them and then you guys can tell me which one you need me to work through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, which one should I work through? 5 and 6? I'll do one of them. 5, okay. All right, so 5 is the intersection of A and AUB. So that means it has to be in both A and AUB. So I am going to use a pencil for this one because I'm going to do both and then I'm going to erase the parts that are not in the overlapping. So A is all of this. That's A. And then I need that place where that intersects with AUB. Now AUB is all of this. Alright, so it looks like the intersection of both groups. What part's in both groups? It's just A, right? All of this. So then I erase this part. So when you do an intersection, it has to be in both groups. So the first group I did was A, and that was all of this. Then I did AUB, which was both circles, and then the part that was in both groups, A and AUB, is just A. So it should be just A. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to pause the video for a minute while you guys work. Okay, here we go. Alright, so the union of A and B is anything that's in A or B or both, right? So that's going to be this and this and this. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then if I want not that, it's going to be everything else. So what part did you shade? The outside is correct. Good. Okay. Questions on that one? Alright, next one. We have not the intersection of A and B. So where's the intersection going to be? In the middle. So I want not that, so it means everything else, everything except for the middle. So I need this, and I need this. Alright, I had an excellent question. Somebody asked, why is number 2 not the same as number 3? All right, and I believe that we settled that with that person, but the question is, does anybody else think they could explain why number 2 is not the same as number 3? That's very good. Okay, so Aggie said it looked like it could have been distributive, but she realized it's not the same as distributive. So that's a good thing to understand, guys. If you see the not outside here, you can't just distribute it to each one, because we did realize we got a different picture for number 3. Okay, so for number 3, we have the intersection of not A and not B. So where is not A going to be? Where's not A? Outside of A, right? I'm going to lightly shade not A so that I can keep that in my head while I'm thinking about not B. So that's my not A, and I want the place where this overlaps with not B. So not B is outside of B. Maybe I'll do like a cross like this. Okay, so the place where the not A overlaps the not B is what part? It's the outside, right? This is just in not B. This is just in not A. So the outside is in both. So I want to erase this part that's only in not B. Erase this part that's only in not A. And I need to keep the outside, which is the intersection of not A and not B. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Did you guys see that? That these two are the same. Two ways to represent the same thing. All right, this is the union of not A and not B. So remember we had not A was out here. Not B was out here. All right, union is anything that's in either one. So we keep it all. So you guys are good with that? It's everything except for the middle. Is that the same as anything we've already done? Yeah. So that's kind of interesting to notice how those are the same. All right, and we've got one more here. Anybody want to tell us what they ended up shading for this one, number 6? Sarika, what did you end up shading? Just B, like all this over here? Okay. Anybody else? What did you end up shading for this one? I think some people were stuck on that.
Yeah, I want
You got just B? Okay. All right, let's see. So we need the intersection of A and not A union B. So there's an intersection of two things. I need to know where they overlap. I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm going to erase the parts that don't intersect with A. All right. So I want the union of not A and B. So not A is out here. This is all not A. You guys agree that's not A?
Yeah.
Okay. And I want the union of that with B, so I need to add in this part here. So this that I circled, not A, U, B, all of this. Now I want the intersection of that with A. So here's A. I want the part that overlaps between A and all of this. What part would that be? Well, it's not going to include this part.
Oh, this one.
Just the middle. Yeah, okay. So A is this. Okay? So the middle is included in this set, which is the shading, and this set, which is the stripes. So the part that's both is the middle. That's the part we're going to keep. Everything else we need to get rid of. That's why we use a pencil. Just the middle. All right, questions? I know that they do get a little bit tricky. But understanding the Venn diagrams is going to help us understand probabilities, especially when we do conditional probabilities. All right, so now we have 3 Venn diagrams, and here we're going to talk about people who can speak Spanish, people who can speak French, and people who can speak Italian. Okay? Alright, so I think I'm going to copy this over. A was Spanish, B was French, C was Italian. Alright, so in figuring this out, what would I call this right here? What's that? Just the part that I shaded. People who speak what? Both what?
French and Spanish.
Yes, people who speak both French and Spanish. So I've got people who speak both French and Spanish. That's the part that I shaded, right? And I want the union between that and this. What's the red? Italian and French. Okay, so either you speak French and Spanish, or you speak French and Italian. You can speak all 3, but then you would still be included in these subsets. Alright, let's look at the next one here. So we got this group here. Alright. What would you guys call that part in red? Is that a union or an intersection in red? Yep, it's a union because it's both. So I've got A, U, B. And then we don't want to include this part of C here, right? So we want to include everything that is not in C. And look, I can overlap here. It's fine. So everything out here, you do a union with, that's, what do I call that outside of C? Not C? Sound good? Alright, I'll pause for a minute and I'll take some questions. Okay, while you're thinking of your questions, let's put some words on this. Okay, so this one was, I think you guys actually told me, students who speak Spanish and French. Or who speak French and Italian. Horacio, do you have a question? Okay, that's good. All right, this one, AUB, is students who speak, what's this? Spanish. So A is students who speak Spanish or French. not speak what? Italian. Okay. Let's just do 2 more before we get to our classroom activity, because we're going to connect our classroom activity to elections, which I think will be a little bit more interesting than these languages. We'll do 2 more. Before we do 2 more, what questions do you have?
Nothing really. I'm just getting the gist of it.
You're just catching up. It's okay. Okay. So for each scenario, shade the venn and describe what the symbols mean in context. And since we're only doing 2, we'll do both of those things. All right, so I have an intersection. I'm going to start with the more complicated part of the intersection, and then I'm going to erase what I don't need. So first I need the intersection of B and C. Can you guys find the intersection of B and C? Here, right? But notice I did that lightly because I'm going to be erasing part of it. So I need to know where this shaded part intersects with A. Where is that? The middle, that's right, the middle. So you only want the middle, because intersection means it has to be in both. All right, so what would that represent? Students who do what? All 3 languages, yeah. Students who speak all 3 languages. Do you know anybody trilingual? Who said me? You are too?
The girl I babysit, she's 2. She speaks Spanish, Russian, and Spanish.
That's tough.
That's
Smart.
pretty amazing. Sarika, is it you or is it somebody you know? What do you speak? English, French, and Spanish? That's amazing. Anybody else trilingual? Matthew?
I know someone who is bilingual.
Who's that?
My grandfather speaks fluent English, French, Dutch, and Portuguese.
Oh, it's really amazing. All right. How about if you guys take a minute and try this one as our last problem, right here, okay? And then we're gonna do, then you're gonna do the classroom activity together. But we will gather some data from ourselves for the classroom activity. All right, moving on. The union of B and C. I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to lightly shade everything that's in B and in C, or both. Union of B and C. It could be in B, it could be in C, or it could be in both. Now I want to know where that overlaps with A. Here's A. All right, so a few of you told me the overlap happens here, here, and here. And that's right. So these sections will be the intersection of the 2 subsets, and then you erase everything else. Okay. So I am going to stop the video, and then we're going to start the classwork activity. We are going to skip these, but if you feel like you want to work on them just to make sure you got it, feel free to do that.